Of course, I'm proud of all the builds that I've made this season, but today is gonna feel particularly special because today's build, or should I say collection of builds, are going to finally make this feel like a real city. But first, I love my storage system and all, but since the city's expanding to the point where it's getting a little bit annoying to have to fly all the way there and then all the way back, I think it's time I set up an official outpost rather than my typical method of, well, just spamming shulker boxes. And let me just put these last few shelves in. Oh, dear. Well, that's one way to start a video. But anyway, this is looking really, really good. But to be completely honest, I think if we want to appreciate this fully, we need to not only replace all this stuff that the creeper destroyed, but we also need just a little bit of context. And that context is a gigantic road. This road right here is going to be the main road for our entire city. It comes all the way down to the marketplace that we made a couple episodes ago, and you can see the military base right across this little interior harbor. And now that the road's in, we can get our first good look at the building, and you know what, I'm gonna fill in the walls real fast. Don't mind all of that really ugly spruce. There's going to be another building crammed right up next to this one, so you're not going to see any of that at all. But what I want to get started on before anything else is getting this interior set up with a little bit of storage. And for this storage system, I'm going to do things a bit different than I usually do. I'm thinking rather than having a really big multi-item sorter like I already have over here, I want this one to be simple, easy to access, and most importantly, easy to make. Maybe we put some chests over on this wall for bulk item storage, and in the center, I want to have another collection of chests, but this time I want to add something extra. That's right, if you hadn't already guessed, I'm going to be using Copper Golems for a little mini item sorter. It's not big, and it isn't meant to hold everything, but that's perfect because we don't need everything. Alright, I'm just gonna come back here, and I'm really hoping that all of this works on the first try because I haven't tested this, but do I need to place 2? Oh, and I needed shears. Alright, let's shear that real fast. Oh, okay, we only needed 1. Take that and get another one. I think I'm gonna put 3 back here, just, you know, no reason really, just feels like that's a good amount. And I'll go ahead and take your chest since I already placed one down, and I think I can wax these guys. There we go. And now hopefully they can't go through this door, but I should probably sleep because I don't have this lit up very well. And this should work great. I put exactly 10 chests here because the way Copper Golems work is they go through and they check like a random chest randomly for 10 chests. And then after they've done those 10 chests, they sort of forget what they already checked, and then they start checking 10 chests again. And it can get like a oh, okay. Alright, they can get through the door. That's potentially a problem. Alright, I think for now I'm just gonna do this the easy way. Oh, and did you already go inside? There you go. Nope, don't come out. Alright, we've got 1, 2, 3. Okay, perfect. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna place these here like that, and then I can set up like a trap door on either side just so that I can get my way through if I absolutely have to. It's fine, it works. And now all I gotta do is I gotta test this out. I'm just gonna let's put a copper chest in this one. Let's put some pumpkin seeds in here. And now we pop all of these items into here, and let's even do like some leads just to see what they do with a random item. No, you're not supposed to come through here. Okay, Okay, I think I can fix this. All right, gonna take those leads back real fast. All right, no, you come back here. Bad boy. Get you through here. And now that. I don't think they can get under here. All right, there's a little bit of learning I've got to do, but I think this is working. Let's see what you guys have done. You've checked all of the items. We've got 3 copper chests in there. We have no pumpkins in there. No wax copper blocks, no carrots. Oh, okay, I think I know my problem. I think whenever these guys grab an item, they just check a chest and they'll put it in there if it's empty. So what happened was they didn't check this chest first. They checked this empty chest and they put all of them into the empty chest. So this is fine. It just means that I need to have something in all of the chests so that they won't just go putting random items into them. Let's try this again. All right, let's see. We've got all of the items figured out. There's 3 copper chests. We've got all the pumpkin seeds in there. The waxed copper blocks. Oh, did I not put those in? Well, that's my fault then. And then, yep, the carrots are in this one. Well, I would say this is a massive success, and it really didn't take long at all to set this up. Okay, to be honest, I was gonna move right along from finishing up the storage room, but I worked on it for a couple hours, and I just gotta show you this.
Ooh, this looks cool. Oh, and the copper golems behind. You're mute, by the way.
Whoops, sorry about that.
You're good. The copper golems behind. Oh, that's so cool.
All right, let me give you a little tour because I am so proud of how this, not necessarily the looks or anything, but just the way everything is set up. It's so cool. So over on this side, I've got random bulk stuff. So like, you know, cobblestone is all in these chests. Got deep slate in here. This is all the really bulk storage that I just don't want to put through the copper golem sorter. And then over here, we've got the copper golem sorter. It's actually, the goblin, wow, I can't speak right now. The copper goblin, I have no idea what happened there. I'm so sorry. Golem thingy, whatever you want to call it. They're sorting through all of the items right now. And then they go into these ones, and I've just got like the random wood biddies up here on top and then the wood on the bottom.
Oh, that's so cool.
And then just in case one of these fills up, like say I can only hold 3 stacks of oak planks, I can just take a stack of those and move them into the barrel down below, just for convenience.
Interesting. Yeah?
I've got all the different colors of terracotta and wool up above so that I can access those easily because I'm going to be using that a bunch in the builds for the city. I've got these 2 barrels. This one's got like stuff for just in case I need to, you know, do a bunch of mining. And then over here, I've got like extra beacons, extra stuff.
That's a lot of diamonds.
Oh yeah, well, because I've got my other diamond beacon over there, so.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then you got the, have you seen the new shelf action? You can just click it and it'll swap out.
I think I stole your hotbar. There we go, got my bed.
I intended for this to be just a little mini storage. Like, it doesn't hold a lot, but I don't need a lot over here because I've got a big storage system over there.
I love this. This is so cool. I haven't actually messed with the copper golems yet.
I
should probably
This is what they're best for. In my opinion, like, you don't want to use them for like a really big storage system. But like if you just want to set up like a little mini thing that makes building on the fly a little bit easier, I think they're perfect for that. The final touch. And with these first 2 buildings in, I think you can kind of start to see what I'm going for. I want the buildings on either side of the road to be tall and, well, not necessarily imposing like the tower is, but at least give off a little bit of a fancy Victorian vibe. Especially along this road here, I want all of the buildings to look kind of nice. As in, this is going to be the nice part of town. There's going to be, you know, shops where rich people can buy things. Buildings like this could even be like a house for a particularly rich person. And I think that'll become clear as we get the rest of these buildings in. And I won't spend too much time talking because we've got to get buildings all the way out to here on both sides of the street, so there's a lot of work left to do. But I wanted to take a brief moment to talk about my philosophy when I'm building in the city. At least for this portion of the city, I want the buildings to have quite a bit of color to them while still maintaining a generally darker vibe. So whenever I'm going for like a baseline, I'm gonna stick to this black stone because I think that really sets a tone by having all of the buildings have that very, very general sort of connecting feature. And not all of them are gonna have it because again, we don't have any blackstone down here on this one. But just in general, I'm gonna be leaning on blackstone quite a bit just to connect all of the builds together. The second thing is I want to have a lot of block variation and sort of unusual block variation, at least by my standards anyway. What is that? All right. Well, that's kind of funny. There he goes. Hey guys, Editor Purple here to tell you that the next clip is going to continue exactly where the last one cut off, and I'm going to be talking about the same thing, but the way the music was fading out as the pillager walked away was such a perfect fade out transition. I just couldn't help myself. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. I want to have a lot of block variation, so I'm going to be using, in fact, for the build I'm doing today, one of my little, I don't know, mini challenges, I suppose you could say, was I wanted to use every single type of wood, and I wanted to use it multiple times. So like we've got mangrove here, we've got dark oak, lots of dark oak trapdoors and stuff in this one and this one as well, but we've also got like cherry, we've got the pale oak, there's a bamboo button right here. We've already used a bunch of jungle and spruce and mangrove on this one, as well as the pale oak. Well, you get the picture. All of these builds, I'm going to be trying to sort of stretch my muscles a little bit as far as block variation goes, and hopefully they all end up still looking good. And then the final little build philosophy that I have for the city is I want all of the buildings to be built for the city and not the other way around. I don't want to design a cool build and then search around for a spot to plop it down in the city. I want each build to kind of feel like it was meant to be here. And while it's not super clear on these two because they're sort of thin and flat, it'll be a lot more clear once I get the other ones in. But I did that by, well, before I put these buildings in, I just designed exactly how I want them to curve along the street. I mean, this one has basically no curvature at all, and this one has very little, but all of the rest of them, you can tell just by the shape of the road that there's going to be a lot of building at angles today, and that was quite the challenge, I'm gonna be honest. I do of course build all of these in creative before I actually build them in this world, but I still want them to feel like they belong here. So throughout all the builds today, there's going to be a lot of asymmetries, there's going to be a lot of building at an angle, and the builds in general are just going to have a lot of little tiny imperfections that I think really bring it to life. I've also been practicing some cool build tricks that I used on this building and this one and several of the others, but I don't really want to talk about those until I get the rest of the buildings in because, well, without having all of the buildings in, we're not really seeing them in the context that they're normally going to be seen in. For example, this building right here, I'm always looking up at it because that's basically the only way you're going to be able to see it. We're gonna have another building just as big right here, and well, you're not gonna be able to see through it to be able to see this building from far away like this. I mean, if you look at this building from a distance, I don't know, it looks okay, but it doesn't look great. But from the only angle that you're actually going to be able to see it, I think it looks really, really good. But no more yapping, I'm ready to get building again. Do you guys ever build something and just think, wow, I'm kind of amazing? Well, that's how I feel right now. I'm just unbelievably proud of this. There's still so much work to be done. This building doesn't have a side. None of them have interiors except for this one. Although I did do my best to make it so you can't see the sky, so I put up like some walls and some basic interiors. Actually, this building I did a little bit more than basic interior. So I made like a little bit of a back to it, but it's not decorated or anything. And I also started to run out of building materials a little bit. So as I got into some of the buildings, well, yeah, it's a box of dirt. But honestly, it's only there to make it so that you can't see the sky through it, so that, you know, when you look in the windows, it looks dark rather than having that bright blue. So it's getting the job done for now. Honestly, there are so many little details in all of these builds that I could talk for hours about all the little things that I tried to do in each one. But unfortunately, that's beyond the scope of this video, so I'll just give you the highlights. With a lot of these buildings, I tried to work with perspective just a little bit, so you can see on this one, we've got two big sections, like this front part, and then there's another section that's a little bit farther back. And one of the things I really like about it is with the windows, they look like they're about the same height, but if I go into free cam, they're actually, well, these ones that are inset are just one block higher, and same with this one as well. However, because those are inset, I think they look pretty close to even. And I did something really similar on this one, where this one's a little bit farther back as you're coming up, so I made this window just a little bit higher as well. And same with the ones up above. It does mean that the angle is sort of tailored for this specific position, so if you come up a little bit farther, it doesn't look quite as good from straight in front. But I'm kind of okay with that, to be honest. I also used a lot of really unique blocks in this one, particularly the loom. I just love that bottom texture of the loom for the top of the windows. And then as we got to the top, I transitioned into like some coarse dirt and soul sand and even some netherite blocks. And when you look at it from really close up, it doesn't look that great, but since we're so far away, I don't know, I think it looks pretty good. This build over here is one that I'm a little bit less proud of. Not that I don't like it or anything, it's just not quite as unique as a lot of these other buildings, but honestly, I think that's really okay. This is a huge area that I've got to fill up with buildings. I mean, all of this is eventually going to be covered in buildings and warehouses and all sorts of random things. So kind of like I talked about in my last episode, I just can't really afford to spend a huge amount of time on every single building. So I put this one together and I'm just gonna be happy with how it turned out. Although I did try to make it a little bit more unique with this little copper pipe going through it. I'm thinking that we can put like some crimson nylium or whatever it's called around here and make it look like there's some sort of, I don't know, enchanting goop getting piped up into here, and then we can turn this into a brewing area. Although at the moment it's just grass. This building is quite a bit different from the others. The other ones are kind of curving around the street. They're just, you know, built into it, but I wanted this one to be a little bit of a centerpiece, which is why I made it symmetrical on both sides, and we've even got another road that's going to be leading off in this direction. And I do really like the look of this building. It looks a little bit more fancy, like maybe this could be a bank or something like that. And then as we transition into these two really big buildings, I just wanted to have something a little bit different. And it's a little hard to make out from the bottom, but as you come up, I just copied the same thing that I did with those towers on a slightly smaller scale. And it's not the most amazing thing I've ever made, but it gets the job done. And this is kind of getting into stuff that I might do next episode or the episode after that, but I'm thinking I'll have like a little bit of an alleyway that comes all the way down here and then through here. And then right as the road is coming over here, we're gonna make a bridge, and I might even have a river flowing all the way over to the ocean. I don't know, nothing's set in stone yet, so that could change. But regardless, that's why this is just an opening leading to nowhere. And with these two final buildings, I wanted both of them to be quite a bit bigger. This one, since it's got all the storage, I'm sort of thinking it's sort of a warehouse or something like that. It's pretty functional, so that's nice. And then this one on the other side, I think I'll turn it into some sort of inn. I might make this into like a restaurant, and then we can have this be the actual inn where there's like rooms where you can stay. And then over here, I want to make like a little mini stable. I already briefly touched on how this building is meant to be looked at, you know, from this angle, because that's the only angle you can look at it now with this building here. But I think there's some cool perspective things that I could kind of talk about a little bit on this one. If I go into free cam, you can see this top layer, I just made it into like a really big dark transition. So this one is going from like the gray terracotta into acacia, into deep slate, into the pale oak. Whereas on the other side, this one's going into the cherry logs, into the nether bricks, into the black terracotta. And it's a little bit much if you look at it from a long ways away. Like, I mean, it's hard to see because of the angle, but it doesn't really look that good. But when you're looking up at it from the street, I think the angle at which you're viewing it makes it look pretty decent. Like, this doesn't look like, how many blocks is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like when you're looking at it from the street, it definitely doesn't look like 6 blocks. It kind of just looks like the area underneath the roof. And I even tried to emphasize it a little bit by having the darker blocks sort of angle up over here, because when you look at it from this angle, then you're going to see a lot of that. So I tried to make it so that it still looks good from this angle as well. So as you look at it from this angle, you can see that gray terracotta up at the front. And then as you're coming around, it transitions into just this normal cobblestone. And I don't know, you guys can judge for yourself if you think it looks good, but I'm pretty happy with it. And then same thing over on this side, although I did take it one step further with this little jetty right here. You can see that as it goes up, each one of these windows is 2 blocks apart. Let me just go into free cam to show you up close. So you've got a window, 2 blocks, window, 2 blocks, window. So they're all the same distance apart, but I tried to use the shelves to make it look like as you're looking up, they all look like they're about the same size. However, you can clearly tell from the buttons that this one is 2 blocks, that one's 3 blocks, and that one is 4 blocks. But again, because of the angle from which we're always looking at it, I think it looks like they're all about the same size. But I think I'm going to leave it there because I want to do just a few little details before I finish the episode. Isn't it amazing what just a little splash of color will do? All I did was put just a few spots of greenery here and there. Well, I suppose this one would be reddery. Sorry about that. But I really like how it's looking. I think I might even add some more of this packed mud into the center of the street to create just a little bit of a different texture. But I can save that for later. I also really like the little restaurant that we put in. Some nice use of the bamboo shelves on the walls. And actually, I meant to put in a little bit of a bar right here. So let's just throw the trapdoors, or what are these called? Pressure plates. Let's just throw the pressure plates on top. Oh, and with the sun going down, you can kind of get the nighttime vibe. I finally got around to putting lanterns everywhere, so we should be mostly safe. Still need to spawn-proof all the upper parts of the buildings. We've got our stable and some skeleton horses inside of it. And by the way, this is one of my favorite new designs for a stable. Or you could honestly even make this into like a closet if you put this in a room. Just put, you know, like some items inside of here. Or maybe it'd be even better if... There you go. It's basically like a closet. But I'm going to take these back because I need them. The one downside to using this as a stable is I wasn't able to fit a horse in here with the shelves on both sides, so I had to get rid of these. But that being said, you can't really tell from the entrance, so I think it's fine. And now I can show you my absolute favorite addition to the city. We've got like some kind of construction scaffold. Oh, and I think this one looks really cool. I probably overdid it just a little bit with this bit on top. It's supposed to be some kind of contraption holding up the scaffold down below, and you know, it's probably a little bit too big and bulky to be realistic. But that being said, when you look up at it, you can just immediately tell what it is. And personally, I think in Minecraft, sometimes it's really good to exaggerate things, even if it makes it a little bit less realistic, just because it makes it easier to see what something is just at a glance. But yeah, I really like this. In fact, actually, the reason that I put these copper bars, I think that's what they're called. But yeah, the reason I put all of these copper bars here was because I wanted it to look like this is kind of under construction as opposed to over on this side where we've got the windows. And I think with the scaffold there, you can really tell what I was going for. But now finally we can get to what I might actually be most excited about this. Although it kind of depends on whether or not it works. Let me just toss all these items here so that it can start sorting. Adding in the flowers and the greenery, especially the firefly bushes, they add a lot of life to the city, but there's still just not that much movement. We've got a little bit of story in the city with like a restaurant and a stable over there and the scaffolding up above, so like you know that something's going on, but I'd really like to sell it a little bit harder. And I'm thinking that with this new update, we've got the perfect opportunity to do that. Using these little guys. I'm thinking I could just take your chest and I could come over into like right here. And if I place the chest down and maybe get rid of this, just put that there for a second. Can you reach that? Perfect, he can reach it. So now you've got a place to take from, but I want you to have another chest to deliver all of that stuff into. And I'm thinking we can use the fact that they can open doors. And I can just hide a little chest up here. And then using a long chain of hoppers, we can bring this all the way over to this chest. And now I'll just place a few items into here like so. And I'm really hoping this works, but where did he? Oh, there you are. Okay, he's gonna take an item as soon as it gets there. Guys, I'm really dumb. Okay, that was a really stupid mistake. The hopper chain needs to be above, or at least going into the side so that it'll work. Let me just fix this real fast. Okay, now this should work properly. Let's put some items in here. Let me real fast fly up here, and let's see if he's actually doing it. Oh, there we go. He grabbed an item. He's gonna bring it all the way up, opens the door, puts it into the chest. Oh, this is awesome. And now he's gonna come back out and he's gonna go straight back down. Guys, this is so cool. I'm just gonna put a few more random items into here and let's see if we can get a couple more copper golems and just get a nice little chain of them running up and down. Oh, look at them go. There's so many of them. I don't know about you guys, but I think the copper golem update was fantastic. Actually, just in general, like the happy cast update was amazing. The copper golems. I don't know what's happening lately, but Mojang's kind of getting a lot of W's with these updates. All right, we need to get a whole bunch more of these copper golems in here, but I think before I do that, I actually want to come up on this scaffolding and let's just put down a couple up here. All right, you guys are not gonna have any chests to work with, but well, good luck up there. All right, these guys are working hard and the guys up on the scaffolding are doing their best. But I'd also like to come and get just a few in the restaurant. But we have a problem. We've already got a ton of chests over here and I don't really want these guys hooking up onto these chests. But fortunately, I learned a trick. Now, unfortunately, it's not gonna look super pretty, but I was watching Exumavoid's most recent video and he was also doing some really cool things with the copper golem. And apparently, if you use some carpet to confuse the copper golem's AI, something like this, then they won't even register these ones as being in range, and we can freely get some going over on this side of the street. So let me just finish up doing this. Like I said, not super pretty, but I'll rearrange these signs in a little bit just so that I can put the carpet right up next to it. But I think this will work for now. Let's just come over and find this corner where we don't really have anything going on. And I'm just gonna put another copper chest there. Oh yeah, yeah, this is perfect. You can't see it from the outside. And I'm thinking if we just come around the corner, then I can maybe put the chest right here. Get rid of this brick and a whole bunch of hoppers. Let's bring it around, not make the same mistake twice. We'll just throw a couple random items into here. And now the moment of truth. Are they actually going to go to this chest, or are they going to go over to our storage system? All right. Head over to the copper chest right there, please. No, don't go around here. No. Oh, okay. You think you're smart, don't you? I'm just gonna cover that up so that doesn't happen again. Oh, no. Okay, this one got caught up over in that one, but I'm thinking that's only because he came all the way around. Let's try this one more time. All right, this time is gonna work. You're gonna go over to that copper chest. You're gonna grab the item out. Go back up here. Place it into the chest. And then he heads right back. Oh, guys, do you think this is as cool as I do? Because I am in love with this. I'm going to experiment with this over the next week or so, and I'm going to see if I can find any other little tricks to get the copper golems to go exactly where I want them to go. Because I think it'd be really cool if I could get another line coming like maybe into this building. We just got to make sure that we get their AI all figured out. But this is so cool. I just love watching them go up and down the street carrying their little items. But ladies and gentlemen, I think that's all I've got for today. This episode has been an absolute blast to put together, from the buildings to the copper golems to our brand new storage system that I'm in love with, as well as like all the little details like the stable and the scaffolding. I just love it all. Oh, and real fast before I go, this is kind of important, to be honest. Let me go under here. Nope, don't. Okay, good, you're fine. I ran into a problem where if I accidentally put an item in here that they don't have access to, like there's no iron ingots in here, so as soon as one of them picks it up, he's gonna go through all of these chests and he's gonna find out, oh, well, it's not there. And then essentially he'll just keep repeating that over and over again, and that's not good. But what I did, and I'm gonna give him a second to go through all these chests so you can see it firsthand. Just gotta give him a second, he's kind of slow. Oh, there. Oh, there he goes. There he goes. All right, check out this chest. Just do it. There you go. Put your item in. It takes a little while because their AI is kind of stupid, but just having this little chest over here, it does the job. So, I mean, like I said, this isn't supposed to be a really big, massive storage system. We've just got like all the different types of wood, and then I've got like some random stuff over here on the ends. And that chest over there, it just drains into this one right here. So I can see, oh, look, I've got sticks there, which means I don't have any sticks up here, which means, boom. It's honestly really simple and easy to set up, and I love it. But okay, guys, the rain is here, which means it's time for me to end the episode. Look at you just running through the... you know what I need to do? I need to put, like, some kind of food item there. But I'll do that next episode. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed making it. And I say that a lot, but I really mean it this time. This episode has been so much fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you enjoyed this episode, I'd really appreciate it if you liked or commented, or if you really want to see more of this, then you could even subscribe. But that's all I've got for you. Bye.